All right, this is the part 2 of the August 25th percussion video. Okay, you should have done line number 6 on the lesson 8. Okay, line number 6 on lesson 8, right? Okay, let's get to it. This should be it for this set, okay? All right, so let's talk about it. This might seem a little confusing, but it's not, okay? So I wrote it like this because, one, I ran out of space, okay? But two, because the first measure and the third measure set up measures 2 and 4. Okay, so if we look at the first measure, okay, we got quarter note of 1, so big 1, big 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's look at the next measure. Okay, well, we got 2 eighth notes tied together, so we got big 1, a little and. A little and because the and gets held over, right? Or we hold over to the and count, right? So we got 1 little and, 2 and, 3, 4. So remember, when we do ties, we won't say the and count or the ands or the small numbers. Remember, if we won't click or tap the small number. So look, first line, we got 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right. Now look at the second measure. We got 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Did you notice how I didn't clap on the and? Look, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So how many claps do I have here? I have 1, 2, on the first measure, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claps. 1, 2, and 3, 4. How many claps do I have in the second measure? I have 1 right here, 2 and 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we won't clap the and count. So look, here's how we clap the first and second measure. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Notice that I did not clap on the and count. Here, let me make it a little bit slower, okay? 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So really, if we were to count these, okay, and not even say the and count, it would be exactly the same. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. When we actually count it, we wouldn't actually say the and count, okay, because it's small. There's occasions where we won't count the small counts like that. Okay, when we get in the bigger grouping, we wouldn't count that small count at all. Going 1 and 2 and 3, 4, we wouldn't count it all. Okay, so look, let's look at a third measure. Okay, third measure. We got quarter, quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, look at the next measure. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4, small and. So look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claps in the third measure, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claps in the second measure. Okay, so these two measures are all they're doing is showing the breakdown of what these would look like. Typically, you wouldn't see. Sometimes you'll see 2 eighth notes tied together. Sometimes you wouldn't. Okay, so look at the last 2 measures. If we were to clap in those, we'd go 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Notice I did not clap the and. Okay, so they're the same thing. 1, 2, and 3. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, we didn't clap the and counts. Okay. So they're just those 2 measures just setting you up for what those 2 should look like. All right, so let's try, okay? We're going to try line. I'm not going to do line number 7 because, again, line number 7 just works. The line number 7 is just like line number 6 where the 2 measures before are just showing you how to count that, okay? So, let's go ahead and go to line number 8. Line number 8. Try line number 8 on your own, okay? This one's a little bit harder because the and counts are going to be said and not the downbeats, or the and counts would be clapped, okay? So try number 8 real quick, and then we'll get to it, okay? I'm going to write it down. All right, so hopefully by now you've written in the counts. Writing the counts for this one's a little easy, or not easy, but it's easy to write the counts in, but it's a little bit harder to say it, okay? So let's start with the first measure. First measure is pretty easy. We got all nothing ties, okay? So we got 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. All right, so second measure, we have 1, big 1, little 2. That should be a little 2, okay? Because since the quarter note's tied to that first eighth note, it's going to have to be a little 2, and a big and count, and then 3, a little 4, and a big and. Okay, that's how that second measure should have looked like. I know my handwriting's a little bad. Okay, so look, big 1, little 2, big and, big 3, little 4, big and. Okay, so if we were to clap and count that measure, it'd be like this: 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Look again, okay? Watch again, or listen. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. All right, one more time. Watch, listen, okay? 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, notice I only hit 1 and 3 and. So look, 1, 2, and 3, 4 and. Okay, now what this is doing is setting you up for something. Okay, this is setting you up for what we call a dotted quarter note. A dotted quarter note gets a quarter note, a 1 beat, 1.5 beats. Okay, so this is what this is setting you up for. This theoretically is this. So you see how this gets, you get 1.5, you get 1 and then 1/8 note. That's 1 beat right here, and then half of a grouping of 8 notes, which is only half a beat. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Look at the third measure. Sorry for the cough. Okay. Third measure, you should have had 1, big 2, little 3, and then big and then 4. Okay? And the last measure, you should have big 1, little 2, big and 3, 4. So if we were to clap and count those last 2 measures, we would go 1, 2, and, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Look, right again, right here. 1, 2, and, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, and 4. See, we're still taking, what they're doing right here is we're putting the dotted quarter right here. The 1 beat right here and the half beat right there. So look, 1, 2, and, or sorry, dang, I keep on messing that up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and the last measure, we get the dotted quarter on the first beat, okay, or the tied, the quarter note tied to the eighth note. We got 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so if I was to clap and count this whole entire line, it would be 1, 2, and 3. Oh, sorry, I had to burp. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna try it again. Okay, from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. I keep on messing that up. See, the trickiest tie right here. And if they put a dotted quarter on 2, it's really tricky, okay? And you see it's tricking me up a little bit. So look, I'm going to do those last 2 measures again, okay? 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, okay? So remember, dotted quarter note is this is what they're preparing you for. Right here is a dotted quarter note. 1.5 beats. 1 beat here, eighth note gets half. 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you get the downbeat and upbeat of 1, and then the downbeat of 2. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, do you understand? All right. So homework for the night. I'll pick you up. Homework for the night is to practice lessons 6 through 8. So that includes this one. Okay. make sure you practice this lesson. I gotta tie you up to my phone charger. My phone's gonna die. All right. So practice this. Practice counting this. Okay. This will be on. I think this will be on the test Friday. Okay. I don't know. I'm not for sure yet if I want to put it on the test, but I might. Okay. Practice this. Okay. You need to make sure you have this whole entire page counted. Okay. Also, and remember, don't turn this in. I don't want this, okay? This ain't for, you keep this, okay? What is for homework that I do need back, okay, is this lesson, is worksheet, note naming worksheet number 9, okay? Note naming worksheet number 9, okay? You will practice note naming all the time because you need to be able to do it fluently, okay? Do it fluently. Once you get to the point where I think you can do it fluently, I will stop putting them on there, okay? I promise, okay? Again, any questions, email me. I will try to answer them. Do your work, guys. Okay. This is how you get your attendance for this distance learning. Okay. So do your work. Bye.